Hello again everyone, and welcome to another one of my opening reviews. Tonight I'm going to be opening and reviewing my brand new, well, saying brand new, it's been out a while, but it's brand new to me because I've just recently got it yesterday and it's absolutely awesome. And that is, there's a little hint here and here, because I'm a big Jason fan. But speaking of big Jason, this is what I'm talking about. My new to me anyway, NECA 18 inch I think it is. I think it's 18 inch. He's a big bugger anyway. Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter, Jason figure. I do have the 8-inch Jason part 4 figure from NECA, the small one. There's a closer look at him. I will compare him in a bit, but the size difference is absolutely huge. But yeah, so let's have a look at the boxing first and what it comes with. It comes with a head, separate head, bunch of weapons. You can't really see in there. Well, maybe you can a bit there. Nice box art. The typical poster for part 4. There's the side. Jason, looking cool as hell. Other side. Again, Jason looking absolutely awesome. About to come and get somebody. It's unfortunate. It's the bottom. The top. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Beyond that, it wasn't the final chapter, but we'll get into that. And there's the back, advertising what you get with it. It does advertise one of these, a gravestone of Pamela Voorhees, but I'm not sure, until I open it, I'm not sure one's with it. It'd be cool if there is, but not going to complain for what I've got with it really, to be honest. Let's get him out of the packaging, shall we? Top off. It's torn a little bit as the cardboard, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to have him on display because this is cool as hell. Get him out. Place that box down there. Oh, there he is. Okay. Portrayed by the late Ted White. And I think he did a good job as in. I think they wanted. I can't remember the guy's name that played him in part 3 now. I should know, but they wanted him to return, but they got Ted White, and I think they wanted Ted White to do more movies. Originally, Ted White were hesitant to play the character, but then when he did play him, he did a good portrait of him. Played him pretty awesome, to be honest. And one of the coolest, if not one of the best in the franchise is Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter. I think it was released in 1984. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was released in 1984. But also stars Corey Feldman as the great Tommy Jarvis. And I'm going to forget his name, aren't I? The guy from Back to the Future who played Marty McFly's dad, George McFly. He's also in this film with that funky ass dance he does. But he gets stabbed in the hand with a corkscrew and then meat cleaver in the head later on in the movie. That's after he's got lucky with one of the twins. But enough about that, let's get this bad boy out of the packaging, shall we? Trusty clippers. as I keep saying, they always bombard these in nice and steady. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this yesterday, well, sorry, I saw it the day before actually. I'd gone to Manchester with our lass for 2 days, and I saw it in a place over there. Paid quite a bit of money for it, £160, but I think, like I said earlier, this one has been out quite a while. I know it came out a good, maybe 15 years ago, I'd say, maybe longer. I'm not entirely sure. But to be honest, I don't know why I didn't buy him back then. I really don't. But for some reason I didn't. And I got him a lot cheaper back then as well, but he's well in, so just bear with me everyone. Just a minute. Oh. And this is quite heavy as well. One more part here holding him in. Trusty clippers, clip, clip, snip, snip. There we go. Oh. Just put him down there in a minute. Let's get his mask out because his mask's come off. You lay down there a minute, Jason. There's his mask. Detail to that. Wow. Got the axe wound in the head from part 3. That's cool as hell. Let's put his mask on for him. Here he is. Look at the size of that. Look at the detail to that face. You wouldn't think it were Ted White in that, but he did wear a latex mask over his face and a lot of makeup. Let's get his mask on. Oh, here we go. Yeah, look at that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Jason Voorhees. Let's have him next to the little necker one and look at the size difference. Wow. Looking pretty cool, pretty accurate to the movie. Put him back down there. Yeah, look at this. Let's have a look at some of his articulations, shall we? Arms move up. A little bit stiff, I'll move out as well. Bend. Yeah, he's a bit stiff, so I want to be careful. Wrists, twist. Nicely. Oh, legs move out. Hope I didn't break that then, especially for what I paid for it. Yeah, I think that's just the sound of the legs moving. Knees bend. Again, a bit stiff, but yeah, knees bend. Ankles twist a little bit. There we go, yeah. Wow. Let's see if he stands all right, shall we? Might have to get him in a better stand than that, but oh, there we go. Stood, ready to get some unfortunate person that's pissed him off. But wow. Whoops, yeah. I'm gonna have to get him in a good stand. Does his belly twist round? He does, yeah. Not bad articulation for a big figure like this. I have had 18-inch ones before now, and their legs tend not to move. So I'm glad the legs move on this one, because you could get him in a better stance. There we go, look at that. Can't get over the detail on this. Look at the back of his head. Wow. Like I say, this is heavy. This is a heavy figure. But that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But let's stand him here in a minute. And we'll get what else he's come with, shall we? So, I mentioned earlier, it came with a separate head, which is this one. And that's the more bloodier version towards the end of the movie, where Tommy chops him in the side of the head and he goes, oh, and he falls down. There's a split down the side. Look at that. That is cool. Look at that detail. Look at that detail. That is fantastic. But what's Jason without his weapons? There's his machete. Nice and bloody. Look at that. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yes. It's not looking like this has come with the Pamela gravestone, but again, I'm not complaining. I really aren't. Separate hand there, with a split down the middle, like Trish does to him in the movie. And he looks at his hand, he's like, put this down here. We've got the kitchen knife. He must have pitched that off Michael Myers when he busted his ass. Because I think Jason would win in a fight with Michael. Those who think otherwise, you know, who'd win in a fight between Jason and Michael, you know. Anybody that's got like the answer for it and who thinks Michael's better, let me know. I mean, I'm a big Michael fan, don't get me wrong, but Jason's my mate, is my favourite, definitely. Like, not my mate, but you know, well, I suppose he is. An axe that comes through the door and bangs into the lass's chest. Can't remember her name on the film, but yeah. But here, let's have a look at this, right? I think you could bang this into the side of the head and it fits. Yeah, well, got this. Bear with me, I don't want to break it, but there we go. Oh! Look at that. You could probably put it in further, to be honest, but I probably... Oh wait, no, that's alright, yeah, look, crunked. There we go, and it just falls down it and slides down it. But we're not going to have him looking like that, we're going to have him looking like this. Of course. This is one of the best in the movies. It's one of my favourites. Oopsie daisy, Jason. Let's get this in your hand. If we can. Bear with me, this is a bit stiff. Yeah, I do not want to break this, honestly. But this is a bit stiff to hold on to this. Yeah, I'm not really pleased if I break this, so just bear with me. It's not fitting into his hand right. Yeah, I think once this is in his hand, it's staying in his hand. Yeah, I can't quite get that into his hand right now, which is annoying because he's not, he needs his machete, don't he? You know what I mean? Yeah, this is a very stiff, yep. Yeah, he's not going to hold on to it for now. Let's have him hold his axe. Bloody hell, fire, eh? What a sod to grab into. Kind of holding his axe there, but yeah. I'm going to pry his hand up in a little bit. Bear with me, everyone. Sorry about this. Don't want to break it. Oh, it's just come off. But yeah, I'm gonna have trouble getting that into his hand. But yeah, that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry I can't get his machete into his hand. That's really annoying. I will get it in at some point. I just hope I don't break it, because I don't want to break it, because I will be very unhappy if I break it. Yeah, I'm not getting this into his hand very easily. This is not good. But yeah, I'll figure it out at some point. I will get it in, but yeah. But that is cool, very cool. Like you see, you could have him with that head, but I'm not going to do. I'm going to have him with this head, this look. That's ace. Absolutely ace. Glad I bought it. I really am. I apologise everybody that I can't get this into his hand to show you. But I don't want to break it. Paid, like I say, paid 160 quid for him, so no, don't want to break it. But there we are. That's Jason from part 4. 18 inch, I think. He's a big bugger anyway, put it that way. Look at the size. You see him all nice and in his glory. Jason Voorhees. But yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Really do. I'm really annoyed I can't get that in there actually, everyone. Sorry. I apologise. But it's kind of, yeah, no, I think I've dropped an hand. There we go. That goes in this side actually, so that will come out. But I really don't want to break it, honestly don't. Yeah, that is a really stiff plastic, that. I think, like I say, once this is in, it's never coming back out. Yeah, not going to get that in. Not right now anyway. Very annoying, but yeah, well. But yeah. Sorry about it, everyone. But like I said, I sound like a broken record now, but I don't want to break him, you know what I mean? So, it might just have to be stood like this. Does this fit in his hand? Yeah, I'm not going to risk breaking him. I'll sort that out later, but there we go. That is my new, well, new to me anyway, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, 18 inch Jason Voorhees figure. Again, have another closer look at him. I said the detail, I mean, I know I say it every time, but head move's pretty good as well. But NECA absolutely knocks it out of the park with these figures, it really does. It's fantastic. I did notice a Freddy Krueger over in Manchester as well. And I've got to say, when I next go, it's a must. It's from part 2 as well, one of my favourite Nightmare on Elm Street movies. But yeah, coming over to grip you. But that is, everybody, my review of my brand new Friday the 13th, the final chapter, 18 inch NECA figure. Until the next time, please like and subscribe, everyone, and keep geeking out. Till the next time, thanks for watching.